What's going on? Rob Fish here in the BikeBandit garage. There's a lot of great things about motorcycles. First off, they're fun, but there's also the freedom of it, the wind in your face, the arcing of the turns, as well as things like fuel economy, ease of parking, and avoiding traffic congestions. But one of the biggest downsides is storage, and really, where do you put your stuff? So in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the luggage options that you've got for your motorcycle. Stay tuned. Are you on a scooter, a sport bike, a cruiser, a dual sport, an enduro, a sport tour, or maybe an adventure bike? The other major factor to consider is the duration of your trip. Headed to campus, or maybe work just for the day? Or are you going on a weekend vacation up the coast? Or hey, just saying, you heading to Alaska for a month? There will be some crossovers here and there, but you know you're not heading to Alaska with just a backpack on a scooter. Unless you live in very western Canada. I mean, you could, but most will want a bike that has a little greater fuel capacity and the luggage to carry more than just a clean pair of socks. Those questions right there will really narrow down your search. You have to be honest with yourself, and perhaps you'll wind up owning a few different sets of luggage for your different bikes and travel scenarios. From there, you can figure out what kind of luggage best suits the plan. There are a bunch of luggage options on the market. Tank bags, tail bags, handlebar bags, and the like, all the way to full panniers with or without top cases. And they're made from all sorts of different materials. Which is optimal? Leather, canvas, aluminum hard boxes. Each material has its own pros and cons for sure. Canvas is lightweight, aluminum can handle a good amount of abuse, and leather has a lot to do with style. For the waterproof aspect regarding canvas and leather, most come with rain covers. For aluminum, using dry bags inside the boxes seems to be the most common method. Canvas and leather don't crash very well. Aluminum does best, but it can be bent clean out of whack or ripped right off of their mounts. Most commuters just run a top case as to keep the bike as narrow as possible through traffic. Mounting systems vary from rigid metal mounts, Velcro, clips, straps, bungee cords, magnets. Pretty much all panniers can be locked, but tank bags, tail bags are a bit tougher in that regard. That's something else to consider. That's theft, and how easy it is for others to steal or at least get into your gear. Luggage with exposed straps that can easily be cut are very vulnerable to theft. Canvas bags, they can actually be cut open with a razor blade, whereas metal cases, by far, they're the most secure. As much as you can, it's better to have your gear attached to the bike as to increase rider comfort and minimize fatigue. Better to have the horse carry the load as opposed to the cowboy, right?
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
There's a bit of safety involved here too. Don't attach gear to other gear. Gear should be attached to the bike via rigid mounts. Now, depending on what you're carrying, that'll also dictate how you pack and how much gear you'll be able to carry. We can assume that all riders pretty much carry these few items, right? A wallet, your keys, a cell phone, and even on a day ride, perhaps a couple of snack bars and a bottle of water. How about a tire repair kit? And all that easily fits into a tank bag, no problem. And there's no real method to packing a tank bag. On the other end of the spectrum is an adventure bike heading to Alaska for a month. Now, depending on whether you're hoteling it or camping will drastically alter your packing. If you're camping, you need to consider a tent, a sleeping bag, first aid kit, cooking utensils, etc., plus food to the list. And you know you're going to be carrying clothes for all types of weather that you might likely encounter, to include cold and rainy, and different altitudes, including different temperatures. Most tend to overpack for their first trip, so here's a little thing I learned to keep things a bit more tailored. What the rider might need on the ride itself should be carried on the person. Your wallet, phone, medical ID, and insurance cards. Things that are for the bike should go on the bike as they tend to be more bulky and heavy. On your saddlebags and your panniers, pack things, the heavy ones, first and forward so that their weight is carried lower and closer to the bike's center of gravity. Handling and stability will be greatly improved. Condense when you can. Don't pack a windbreaker if your riding jacket has a removable one. Remember, really, less is more. Things that I use every day and might need quicker access to, for instance, maps, camera, sunglasses, etc., those will actually go in the top case. Since the first thing I do when I stop for the night is set up my camp, I strap those items to the top. They're bigger in size, but pretty lightweight to avoid getting too top heavy. Think like your tent and your sleeping bag. Remember that both luggage as well as the bike itself have weight limits, and respect those limits. Going over those set limits truly is a safety issue. Handling is drastically affected, as is braking distance, so please, play it smart. Packing luggage is an art that takes practice, but also changes from bike to bike and from trip to trip. And remember, trial and error will occur. Just know that. Remember that what looks static in your driveway or garage will be blowing around in 70-mile-an-hour wind, so tuck in your straps and leave nothing hanging near your wheels. Another thing to consider is that exhaust pipes can destroy a set of luggage really fast, plus all the contents inside, so protect the undersides of them. So there you have it, just a quick video on luggage. Of course, there's no way we can touch on all aspects for each bike and riding scenario, but this is a solid start. We hope you found this video helpful. Here we put a couple links to some common luggage options. If this is your first time joining us in the BikeBandit Garage, remember to hit the red button and subscribe to our channel. With each new video, you'll be in the loop learning more about motorcycles and some accessories that make the ride just that much more fun. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you soon. Now, it's time to go ride.